Hi, Owen Everett here again. I just want to talk about disc pain, what it is. So basically what can happen is that a disc looks like essentially like a jam donut. It's got a fibrous layer on the outside and it's got the kind of the jam, or it's called the nucleus pulposa, in the middle, and that allows like compression through the back. What can happen is when we bend a lot through the back or we sit in a poor position, it kind of pushes the disc, the inner jam material out, and that can irritate the back of the disc, which then can lead to issues because the outside fibers get worn down and then the inside bit kind of bulges out or presses against the nerve, and that can cause shooting pain into the bum or down the leg. If that pain is going below your knee or is causing your foot like that, you feel like your foot's dropping, it's probably a good idea to get an MRI to really check what's going on with your back. But if it's above the knee that you're getting the pins and needles either down the front or down the back or just into your bum, that's fine. Or if your back is just spasming, it's just because the nerve is getting irritated, the back and the body's worried about it, so it just kind of clamps the muscles down. So that's what's happening. The bulge is either pushing out generally and hitting the nerve, and that's causing your pain. Why it's occurring, well, we kind of talked about it initially here, is that when we flex at the front, basically that presses this bit down, which causes the bulge to push back out, and then that hits the nerve, which causes that signal down, or that causes that spasm. So we don't want to be in that flex position, because again, that's kind of pushing on the front of the nerve. If you can imagine a jam donut, if I push this bit, it'll shoot the rest of it all the way back. So we want to keep the back in that neutral position and learn how to move through our hips while keeping our back in a good position, rather than rounding as we go. Secondly then, if I'm at a chair, I want to be kind of upright away from this, like having some padding that will keep your back in an arched position rather than rounded around will make a big difference. Because when we stop pushing the pressure on the disc, which allows the bit in the middle, the nucleus pulposa, to move back into the middle and the disc to start to heal. So a main issue with the disc then that you'll have to do is, one, stop what we call picking the scab. Stop doing the things that cause the issue. In our program then we talk a lot about these, like how can you sit watching TV, how can you sit at your desk, how can you learn how to pick things up, and we use our back aware belt to learn about those. Second thing is, it's good to do like a 45-minute program once a week to get the muscles of the glutes and the hips moving better, so you can start moving through your hips so you don't have to move way too much through your back. Because if you're stiff through your hips, you will naturally move through your back. You'll always be able to sit, you'll always be able to bend to pick something up. How you do it will differ. Okay, sometimes you can do it correctly, sometimes you can do it incorrectly. And then lastly, when we lie or when we sleep, the discs take on extra fluid because they're not compressed. So generally with back pain or with disc pain, you'll find that people are worse in the morning than in the evening, because if I'm walking around all day, it reduces the size of the disc, which reduces how much pressure is getting pushed back out of the disc. So it's really important to start the day well with back pain. So we do a 5-minute morning routine and recommend people just to do like 2 or 3 minutes of power walking in the morning, just to help reduce the size of the disc, which reduces the pressure that's inside the disc. Okay, so it's like if you had a bottle. If the bottle is completely full and I press on it, loads more of the water is going to shoot out. That's what happens because essentially the disc is full. If the bottle is half full, I could put the same amount of pressure, but the same amount of water is not going to push out because there's less pressure in the bottle. Okay, I hope that makes sense, that analogy. Yeah, if you want to do our program, just click the link below, and hope that makes sense about your disc pain.